Next, we configure the settings for the opt-in pages. So head into the funnel. There's three areas that have settings. The first I'm going to go over is the main funnel settings. So on the far right hand side here, click settings. And here is where you can change out the name of the step or page if you need to, and the URL path. So this is the link that you're going to be either adding to your main website, or if you have an external website, you can use this to add it into a button on your external website or menu navigation. So go ahead and change the path here. Here is where you can connect in the domain name as well. From an earlier tutorial, I explained how to add a funnel domain name. So if you haven't watched that one yet, you can go back and do that now. If not, select the domain name that you created for your funnel pages. The favicon URL, you're able to actually go into your media storage and upload a favicon into your account. So say if I was wanting this to be my favicon, I would click on the three dots here and say get link, and then head back to the funnel and paste that link into the favicon URL field. If you're wanting to check any Google Analytics, you can add a heading tracking code in here. Otherwise, we do have the events tab here, which I'll go over in a second. And just go through and check any of these settings if you're wanting to turn them on or off. If you do want a chat widget, you can do that here as well and press save. Now we can move to the events tab. So if you do want to track any Facebook Pixel events, this is where you can add them in here. And I'll just quickly go through the other settings that we have on our funnels. This is the statistics, where you can see how many page views there were, how many opt-ins, sales, and earnings per page. If you did make any sales through your funnel, they'll be listed in here. Security is not something that you need to worry about at this stage. It's more for developers. The other areas that you can change the settings are in the actual funnel steps. Now you click on the step that you're wanting to change and head into publishing. You can change the step name here. And then you can create a unique URL for this as well. This isn't necessarily the one that's going to be seen, so it doesn't need to be too unique. But if you just want to change it from what the template is, this is where you would do it here. If you're selling something on your opt-in page, you first need to add it in as a product. First add it as a product through here, and then follow each of the steps. And then as long as you add this in as a product here in your actual funnel page, if you use an order form element on the funnel page, that's how it knows what product to deliver. So then you can also customize the confirmation page if you're wanting to change the URL slug here. Head over to publish and change the slug in there as well. If you were wanting to change from an opt-in to a sales funnel, you could have the opt-in as the first step, which then flows into the second step being a sales page. So if that's the case, then you just add a new page here. You can duplicate or take from this first page, and you can move these up and down to change the order in which they are as well. One setting that I want you to make sure that you checked is what the next step is once they submit the form. So there's two areas where you can check this. First, click on the form, and here it says redirection. It says go to next step. So make sure that that is go to next step, which means it will go to the confirmation page. If you say use action from the form builder, I'll just show you what that looks like here. In the settings section of the form builder, this would be the next step here. So it would just show up with this part here looking like this. So within a funnel page, if you're creating an opt-in from it, we do want it to go to the next step. So we say go to next step. The next settings that you'll need to customize is the SEO settings. This is what shows up in the search results if your funnel is searchable through Google. So click on SEO and AI search optimization and fill in the content, which is a title. And I recommend between 50 to 60 characters for the title in total. And then the description is between 150 and 160 characters. Making sure that you're keeping keywords and phrases in there that you think your ideal client will use to actually find your product and how you can help them. Keywords you can add in here again for the same reason. Be sure to add your author name in. Images, so this is what's called a social sharing image. If you want a specific image to show up when you share the link on Facebook or Instagram, once you pop that in, it'll show an example of it up here. But basically create a square image with the main content through the middle part of that square image, because depending on what device they're looking at, it looks different on different social medias. So create that in Canva and upload it into here. And then you can add in some custom meta tags and links here as well. If you're not sure what that means, please head to the help article that is in the knowledge base. Then we repeat the same thing on the confirmation page, so you can flick over to the confirmation page still within the builder here and do the same thing over with the SEO content. And from there, that's your primary settings all done. And then once you publish, again, just being sure that everything looks correct on the front end of things, and that's the main setup for your funnel done.